The crystal chandeliers cast dancing shadows across marble floors. Designer gowns sweep past polished shoes. This is the Hartford Museum Spring Gala, where New York's elite gather to celebrate wealth disguised as charity. 23-year-old Amara Bennett moves through the crowd. Black uniform, white apron, invisible, the way servers always are. She balances a tray with the practiced grace of someone who's worked 3 jobs since high school. Against her dark skin, a silver necklace catches the light. A crescent moon intertwined with a compass rose. Weathered, old, beautiful. A woman's voice cuts through the murmur. Isn't it inappropriate for the help to wear jewelry? Especially something so ostentatious? Heads turn. Whispers ripple. Amara's hand instinctively touches the necklace, the only possession from a past she can't remember. Then, everything stops. 81-year-old Eleanor Whitmore stands frozen. Her champagne glass slips, shatters. Her face drains of color. She stares at the necklace. Her lips form silent words. Victoria. Have you ever wondered what a single object could unlock? What secrets hide in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to shatter everything you thought you knew? 3 days earlier, Amara's apartment in the Bronx, 482 square feet, peeling paint, a window that won't close all the way. But it's hers. Nursing textbooks cover every surface: anatomy, pharmacology, patient care. Finals in 2 weeks. Between double shifts at prestige events catering and studying, sleep is a luxury she can't afford. On her makeshift desk sits a worn manila folder, her entire history inside. She opens it. The same documents she's read 1,000 times. Birth certificate, baby girl Bennett, ward of the state. Date found, June 15, 2002. Location, Roosevelt Medical Center, New York. A single photograph of the necklace. Handwritten note attached. This was pinned to your blanket when they found you. I kept it safe. Mrs. Carter, Judith Carter, her foster mother from age 12 to 16, the only person who ever felt like family. Dead 7 years now from cancer. Amara traces the compass rose with her finger. 4 directional points: north, south, east, west. And beneath them, engraved in tiny script, May 29th, 2002. 2 weeks before she was found abandoned. Her roommate, Tessa Rodriguez, appears in the doorway. Fellow nursing student, best friend, the sister she chose. You're doing it again. Tessa's voice is gentle. The necklace thing. It means something, Tess. Amara doesn't look up. This engraving, it's custom work. Expensive. Someone cared enough to have this made. Maybe your birth mom was rich and had a breakdown. Or maybe she was running. Amara closes the folder. Either way, I need to focus. Finals won't pass, but the necklace stays around her neck. It always does. 21 years. She's never taken it off. Not once. 2 days earlier. Prestige events catering. A cramped office that smells like coffee and stress. Greg Paulson, Amara's supervisor, waves her in. Mid-50s. Perpetually exhausted. 3 ex-wives. But decent enough. Big event tomorrow night. He slides a file across his desk. Hartford Museum Spring Gala. Eleanor Whitmore's making some massive announcements. $500 million to children's charities. Amara knows the name. Everyone does. Eleanor Whitmore. Banking dynasty. Widow of Charles Whitmore. Foundation work that's reshaped child welfare across 3 states. Childless. Notoriously private. Ruthlessly generous. We need reliable people. Greg taps the file. It's double pay. Tips from these folks? He whistles. Could be a month's rent in one night. Amara calculates. Double pay covers next semester's books. Maybe even catches her up on electricity. I'm in. Professional attire only. Greg's expression turned serious. No jewelry except simple studs. These people notice everything. They judge everything. Amara's hand moves to her necklace. This is no exceptions. Greg cuts her off. I'm serious, Amara. One complaint and we lose the contract. She nods, but her fingers stay wrapped around the silver crescent. She's never taken it off. Not for gym class, not for hospital clinicals, not for anyone. Tomorrow won't be different. Same time. Across Manhattan. The Whitmore estate. 15,000 square feet of history and grief. Eleanor Whitmore sits in her private study. Lawyers and financial advisors crowd the room. Tomorrow's announcement. $500 million. Her life's work. But her attention keeps drifting. Above the fireplace hangs a portrait. A young woman. Auburn hair, laughing eyes. Around her neck, a silver crescent moon necklace. Victoria Whitmore, 1980 to 2002. Her daughter. Dead 23 years. Patrick Hayes, Eleanor's assistant, notices her distraction. 37. Sharp. Loyal. Been with her a decade. Mrs. Whitmore? The speech revisions? Eleanor blinks. Victoria would be 45 now. Her voice is soft, distant. She would have loved this work, helping children. Patrick's expression softens. She'd be proud of you. Would she? Eleanor touches the compass rose brooch pinned to her lapel, matches the necklace in the portrait. I couldn't save her. I couldn't even save her baby. The room goes quiet. Everyone knows the story. The tragedy that broke Eleanor Whitmore. Victoria. 7 months pregnant. Car accident. Brain dead by morning. The baby didn't survive the emergency surgery. Eleanor buried them both. Mother and child. June 2002. The necklace disappeared that night. Victoria's personal effects at Roosevelt Medical Center. Gone. Despite private investigators. Despite a $50,000 reward. Gone. Like her daughter. Like her grandchild. Gone. Patrick clears his throat. The gala tomorrow. It's about moving forward. Is it? Eleanor looks at the portrait, at the necklace frozen in oil paint. Or is it about pretending the past doesn't haunt us? She commissioned that necklace in Florence, May 2001. Mother-daughter trip. 2 matching pieces. 1 necklace for Victoria, 1 brooch for herself, both engraved with the date they'd return to collect them. May 29th, 2002. They never made that trip. Victoria died June 12th, 2002. 2 weeks after the engraving date. The necklace was around her neck when the paramedics brought her in. By morning, it was gone. Eleanor has spent 23 years wondering. Who took it? Why? Was it a simple theft or something darker? Tomorrow night, she'll stand before New York's elite and talk about hope. About giving children a future. She'll smile. She'll inspire. She'll pretend her heart isn't a graveyard, because that's what you do when you're Eleanor Whitmore. You survive. 2 women, 2 lives, 1 lost object. Tomorrow night, fate will force them into the same room, and nothing will ever be the same. The gala. Moments after the champagne glass shatters. Security moves fast. 2 men in black suits appear beside Eleanor. Patrick rushes through the crowd. But Eleanor doesn't move. Can't move. Her eyes stay locked on Amara, on the necklace. The ballroom falls silent. 500 of New York's wealthiest holding their breath, watching a billionaire stare at a server. Eleanor's voice breaks the silence, barely a whisper, but it carries. Where did you get that necklace? Amara's heart hammers, every eye on her, judging. Assuming. She's been in this position before, always an outsider, always suspected. "It's mine." Her voice is steadier than she feels. "I've had it since I was a baby." "That's impossible." Eleanor takes a step forward. Her hands trembled. "I had that necklace made." Custom in Florence. There's only one. The crowd murmurs, louder now, accusations floating in the air. Stolen, must be stolen. A woman steps forward, mid-40s, perfectly tailored dress, a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. Carolyn Whitmore. Eleanor's daughter-in-law by marriage to her late nephew. Mother Eleanor. Carolyn's voice drips with concern. "Perhaps we should discuss this privately." I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation. Her tone says there isn't, but Eleanor ignores her, moves closer to Amara. Her eyes were desperate, hungry, seeing something no one else can see. "May I?" Eleanor's hand reaches out. Stop inches from the necklace. "Please." Amara wants to run, to disappear like she's learned to do her whole life. But something in Eleanor's eyes stops her. Not anger, not accusation. Grief. Raw, devastating, ancient. Amara nods. Eleanor's fingers touch the silver. Trace the compass rose. Find the engraving on the back. Her breath catches. 05.29.02. Eleanor's knees buckle. Patrick catches her. It's real. Victoria's necklace. 20 minutes later. A private room off the main hall. Amara sits across from Eleanor. Patrick stands nearby. Two others have joined them. Detective Raymond Costa, 62 NYPD, semi-retired but on the Whitmore family retainer, and Dr. Miriam Okafor, family reunification specialist, lawyer, sharp eyes that miss nothing. "I'm not pressing charges," Eleanor speaks first, direct. "I need to understand how you have that necklace." Amara's hands grip her knees. "I was abandoned." Infant. Outside Roosevelt Medical Center, June 15th, 2002. The necklace was pinned to my blanket. That's everything I know. The room temperature drops. Eleanor's face transforms. Color draining. Hands shaking harder. June 15th? Roosevelt Medical? According to my intake papers, yes, Patrick and Detective Costa exchange looks. Costa speaks carefully. Mrs. Whitmore's daughter Victoria died June 12, 2002, at Roosevelt Medical Center. Brain aneurysm following a car accident. The words hang in the air. Impossible. Terrible. True. Dr. Okafor leans forward. "Miss Bennett, do you have medical records? Birth documentation?" Just what the state gave me. Amara pulls papers from her purse. Always carries them. Her entire identity in a folder. Generic birth certificate. No parent names. No history. Eleanor's hands shake as she removes her compass rose brooch. Place it on the table beside Amara's necklace. They're unmistakably matched. Same metalwork. Same patina. Same tiny maker's mark underneath. A.F. Firenze. Alessandro Ferretti. Florence. The jeweler Eleanor commissioned in 2001. Victoria was 7 months pregnant when she died. Eleanor's voice fractures. Breaks. "The doctors told me the baby didn't survive. Emergency C-section, too much trauma. They showed me. They said it was over." Silence crashes through the room. Detective Costa clears his throat. "Mrs. Whitmore, if you're suggesting—" "I'm not suggesting." Eleanor's business voice surfaces, sharp, commanding. "I'm stating facts. My daughter died at that hospital. 3 days later, a black infant was found abandoned at that same hospital wearing my daughter's necklace. I want to know what happened." Amara's world tilts, spins. "Are you saying I might be—" "I'm saying we need DNA tests." Eleanor's eyes meet hers. Immediately. 4 hours later, a 24-hour medical lab in Manhattan. Cheek swabs, labels, chain of custody forms. Expedited processing costs more than Amara makes in a month. Eleanor pays without blinking. While they wait, Detective Costa opens his laptop. 23 years of digital archives from Roosevelt Medical Center. June 12th, 2002. Costa reads aloud. Victoria Whitmore, admitted 11:47 p.m. Motor vehicle accident, severe head trauma, passenger side T-bone collision at intersection of... Skip the delivery. Eleanor's voice was tight, controlled. Emergency C-section performed at 1:23 a.m. due to fetal distress. Costa's frown deepens. Official record states, infant female, delivered stillborn, 1:51 a.m. Mother expired at 2:14 a.m. from cerebral hemorrhage. Eleanor closes her eyes, reliving the worst night of her life. Costa continues. June 15th, 2002. Infant female found by maintenance worker Lewis Washington, 6:20 a.m., near the ER entrance. Estimated age 3 to 4 days. The preliminary exam showed good health, no distress. The baby had one distinguishing mark. He pauses. Small strawberry birthmark. Left shoulder blade. Amara's breath stops. Eleanor notices. What is it? Amara's voice is barely audible. I have a birthmark. Left shoulder blade. Strawberry-shaped. The room freezes. Show me. Eleanor stands. Amara hesitates. This is insane. This can't be real. But she turns, lowers her collar enough to reveal the mark. Small, reddish, shaped like an irregular heart. Eleanor's sob tears through the quiet. Victoria had the same mark, exactly the same location. Her father had it. Charles's mother documented it in all the family medical records, worried it was vascular. Patrick's face goes pale. If the baby survived, why would they report her stillborn? Dr. Okafor's voice is grim, professional. Either catastrophic medical error, or someone deliberately falsified the records. Detective Costa finishes. Eleanor stands. Her grief transformed into something harder, colder, more dangerous. Find out who delivered that baby. Find out who signed the death certificate. Find out who was in that delivery room. Her voice could cut glass. And find out why my granddaughter was abandoned like garbage while I buried an empty coffin. The next morning, DNA results arrive via secure email. Dr. Okafor opens the attachment. Her hands are steady, professional, but her eyes betray emotion. She reads aloud. Each word landed like a hammer. Probability of biological relationship between Eleanor Whitmore and Amara Bennett. She pauses. 99.97%. The room erupts. Carolyn Whitmore, who inserted herself into this meeting, goes pale. That's impossible, I was there. I saw Eleanor at the funeral. You saw a funeral for my daughter. Eleanor's voice is steel. No one showed me the baby. They said it would be too traumatic. Amara can't breathe, can't think. 23 years. Foster homes. Poverty. Loneliness. Questions no one could answer. All because of a lie. Why? Her voice breaks. Why would someone do this? Patrick's expression darkens. Maybe we should ask who benefited from Victoria's death. All eyes turn to Carolyn. Her face flushes. How dare you? I wasn't even married to Thomas in 2002. But you were dating him. Patrick's voice is quiet, deadly. You were at the hospital that night. The temperature drops. Detective Costa opens a new file. Let's talk about the delivery room. Who was there? Who had access? Who signed what? These are the kind of black stories that remind us. Sometimes the most touching stories are buried under decades of lies, and someone was willing to destroy a life to keep those lies hidden. Who falsified the hospital records? Why was Amara abandoned? What did Carolyn know? 72 hours after the DNA results. Eleanor's estate attorney, Margaret Shen, arrives with boxes, 23 years of financial records, estate documents, trust amendments, the paper trail of a fortune. She spreads them across Eleanor's conference table. Detective Costa, Patrick, Dr. Okafor, Amara, Eleanor, and Carolyn all present. Carolyn brought her own lawyer, Harrison Breckenridge, silver hair, expensive suit, retainer that could fund a hospital wing. Margaret speaks like she's presenting evidence, because she is. When Victoria died in 2002, her estate was structured with a clear hierarchy. She points to a document. If her child survived, the child inherited Victoria's share. Approximately $1.8 billion in today's valuation. Amara's stomach drops. Billion. With a B. With no surviving heir, Victoria's share reverted to the 1998 Trust Amendment. Margaret slides another page forward. The secondary beneficiary was Thomas Whitmore, Eleanor's nephew. Carolyn's face hardens. Thomas is dead. Pancreatic cancer. 2019. What does this have to do with... everything? Patrick cuts her off. Thomas managed Whitmore Industries from 2002 until his death. You've managed it since. And the foundation. Detective Costa pulls up financial records on his laptop. Let's talk about money. June 2002. Dr. Philip Grayson, administrator of Roosevelt Medical Center, received a $250,000 consulting fee. He turns the screen, shows the wire transfer. From Whitmore Industries Legal Department. Approved by Thomas Whitmore. The room goes silent. Eleanor's voice is ice. Thomas authorized $250,000 to the hospital administrator the same month my daughter died. It gets better. Costa clicks to another screen. June 2003. Grayson received $500,000 from a shell corporation, Clearwater Medical Consulting, dissolved in 2004. Registered agent? He looks at Carolyn. Simon Vetch, your first cousin. Carolyn stands. I'm calling my attorney. Sit down. Eleanor's command stops her cold. You're not leaving until we understand what happened. Carolyn sits. But her lawyer leans in, whispers urgently. Detective Costa continues. Hospital staff present at Victoria's delivery. Primary surgeon, Dr. Alan Mercer, retired, living in Arizona. Surgical nurse, Linda Hartwell, retired, Vermont. Anesthesiologist, Dr. Paul Rickman, deceased, 2007. He pauses on the next name. Attending physician who signed the stillbirth certificate, Dr. Gerald Thornton. A photo appears. Man in his 40s, white coat, confident smile. Thornton was terminated in 2003 for falsifying patient records. Unrelated case. Lost his medical license in 2005. Last known address, Jacksonville, Florida. Patrick leans forward. Someone paid him. That's speculation. Breckenridge, Carolyn's lawyer, objects. You have no evidence. Then explain the money. Eleanor's voice cuts like a blade. Explain why my nephew paid the hospital administrator. Explain why Carolyn's cousin's company paid him more. Carolyn's composure cracks. Thomas handled legal affairs. I don't know every transaction. You were there. Amara's voice surprises everyone, including herself. The night my mother died. You were there. I was Thomas's girlfriend. Of course I was there. And 3 days later, I was abandoned. Amara stands, faces Carolyn. With a necklace worth thousands. Why didn't whoever left me just sell it? Why keep it with me? Silence. Dr. Okafor speaks quietly. Because it was insurance. If the baby was ever found, the necklace was proof. Proof someone wanted the baby gone, but couldn't bring themselves to... She doesn't finish. Doesn't need to. That afternoon, Detective Costa makes calls. Linda Hartwell, the surgical nurse, 71 now, agreed to a video call. Her face appears on screen. Weathered. Tired. Guilty. I wondered when someone would come asking. Her voice shakes. 23 years. I've had nightmares every single one. Eleanor leans toward the screen. Tell us what happened. Linda takes a breath. The baby didn't die. She was perfect. Crying. Pink. Healthy. 7 pounds, 2 ounces. Amara's hand covers her mouth. But Dr. Thornton, he took her out of the delivery room, told us to document stillbirth. I tried to object. He said it was complicated. Family request. Family request? Eleanor's voice was sharp. That's what he said. I thought maybe... I don't know what I thought. But I was young, scared. He was attending. Costa speaks gently. What happened next? 3 days later, I was leaving my shift. Saw Dr. Thornton in the parking garage. Level B. He was with someone. A woman. Dark hair, red coat. They were arguing. Patrick stiffens. Did you see her face? No. But I saw him hand her something. Wrapped in a hospital blanket. I didn't realize until years later what I'd witnessed. Why didn't you report it? Dr. Okafor asks. Linda's face crumples. I tried. Went to Dr. Grayson, the administrator. He told me I was mistaken, traumatized from the delivery. Then I started getting letters. What kind of letters? No return address. Typed. Said my family would be hurt if I talked. Said my daughter, she was 8, then they knew her school. Send me pictures of her playground. Eleanor closes her eyes. So I kept quiet. Got a transfer to a different hospital. I tried to forget. Linda wipes tears. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Amara can't speak. Can't process. They threw her away. Threatened a woman into silence. All for money. Detective Costa pauses the recording. Linda, the woman you saw, the red coat. Can you describe anything else? Expensive. Designer. Burberry, maybe? And she was tall. Confidence. Moved like someone used to giving orders. Patrick's face goes white. Carolyn had a red Burberry coat. 2002. I remember because Thomas bought it for her. Christmas 2001. All eyes turn to Carolyn. She's pale. Shaking. Thousands of women own red coats. This is absurd. You're building a conspiracy from... Then take a polygraph. Eleanor's voice was cold, merciless. If you have nothing to hide, I don't have to prove my innocence. Actually, Breckenridge says quietly, given the evidence, you might want to cooperate. Even her own lawyer sees it. That night, Eleanor's study. Amara sits by the window, looking at the city lights, trying to process that she's a billionaire's granddaughter, that her entire life was a lie, that people destroyed her for money. Eleanor enters with tea, sits beside her. I don't know how to be a family. Amara's voice is small. I don't know how to be your granddaughter. I don't know how to be a grandmother. Eleanor's honesty is gentle. But we'll learn. Together. They threw me away. Amara's voice breaks. Like I was garbage. No. Eleanor takes her hand. They stole you. They're not the same thing. You were wanted. Desperately. I just didn't know you existed. Amara looks at her. This woman who's a stranger. Who's her grandmother? Who lost 23 years? What if we can't prove it? What if they get away with it? Eleanor's eyes harden. They won't. I promise you that. A knock on the door. Patrick enters, face grim. Detective Costa found Dr. Thornton in Florida. He's willing to talk. Eleanor stands. Then we go to Florida. There's something else. Patrick hesitates. Keith Mallory, private security contractor. He's been asking questions about Amara, following her. Who hired him? Whitmore Industries Security Division. Approval code traces to Carolyn. These real-life stories teach us, when the powerful feel threatened, they don't just hide the truth, they hunt it. And Amara just became the target. Jacksonville, Florida. 2 days later. Detective Costa and Patrick stand outside a run-down apartment complex, peeling paint, broken railings, the smell of desperation. Dr. Gerald Thornton lives here now, 3rd floor, Unit 312. Costa knocks, once, twice. Footsteps shuffle inside. The door opens. A man appears, 67 but looks 80. Hollow eyes, shaking hands. The ghost of the confident doctor from the photo. Dr. Thornton? Costa shows his badge. Thornton's face drains. I knew someone would come eventually. He doesn't ask why they're there. He already knows. Inside the apartment. Thornton sits on a stained couch, hands wrapped around a coffee mug. Can't stop shaking. I can't talk about that night. They'll kill me. Who will kill you? Patrick asks. I don't know. That's the point. Thornton's voice cracks. I've been running for 20 years, changing addresses, using cash. They still find me. Costa leans forward. Tell us what happened. June 12th, 2002. Thornton closes his eyes. I was paid. $100,000. Cash. Delivered to a P.O. box in 3 installments. Paid to do what? Falsify the stillbirth certificate. Take the baby to a specific location. Leave her there. The words land like stones. Where? Patrick's voice was tight. Maintenance closet. Near the loading dock. Level B. I was told someone would pick her up. Take her to a good family. Adoption. Private. No paperwork. You believed that? Thornton's laugh is bitter. I wanted to believe it. $100,000 pays a lot of gambling debts, so I documented stillbirth, took the baby, left her in that closet wrapped in a hospital blanket. With the necklace? It was around the mother's neck when she died. I thought, I don't know, maybe the baby should have something from her. Costa's jaw tightens. What happened next? I left. Came back an hour later to check. The baby was gone. I thought everything went according to plan. Thornton's voice drops. But 3 days later I saw the news. Abandoned baby found at Roosevelt Medical. I realized whoever was supposed to pick her up didn't. They just moved her to the ER entrance and left her. Patrick stands, paces. Who contacted you? Who set this up? I never met them directly. Everything was phone calls, burner phones, instructions delivered by text, money and cash drops. You must have heard something. A name. A voice. Thornton hesitates. There was one voicemail, left by mistake. A woman's voice. She said, "Tell Grayson it's done." Then she hung up, realized her error, called back immediately and said, "Forget that message." Can you describe the voice? Educated. Cold. Used to giving orders. And... He pauses. She had a slight accent. Not strong, but there. European, maybe. Or someone who'd lived abroad. Costa and Patrick exchange looks. After that night, the threats started. Thornton continues. Letters. Photos of my daughter at school. Her route home. I moved to Florida, changed my name on lease documents, stopped practicing medicine. But they still found me. He pulls up his shirt, shows a scar across his ribs. 2 years ago, man with a knife, and with a parking lot outside a grocery store. Said if I ever talked, next time would be fatal. Back in New York, Eleanor's estate. Amara can't sleep. It's 3 a.m. She's in the guest house Eleanor insisted she stay in, 24-hour security outside. Her phone buzzes. Text from Tessa. You okay? Saw the news. This is insane. The media found out. Of course they did. Nothing stays secret in New York. Headlines everywhere. Whitmore heir found after 23 years. Baby Amara, stolen or abandoned. Billionaire's lost granddaughter raised in foster care. Amara doesn't respond. Can't find words. Another text. Unknown number. Stop asking questions. You survived once. Don't test your luck. Her blood goes cold. She screenshots it. Forwards to Detective Costa. But fear settles in her chest like ice. Someone is watching. The next morning, Eleanor's conference room. The team gathers. Eleanor, Amara, Patrick, Detective Costa, Margaret Shen, Dr. Okafor. Costa shares Thornton's testimony. The room listens in grim silence. The voicemail. Margaret speaks. A woman's voice. European accent. That's specific. Patrick pulls up files. Carolyn Whitmore, born Carolyn DuPont. My father was French-American. My mother was Swiss. Carolyn spent summers in Geneva as a child. She has a slight accent when she's tired or angry. Eleanor's face hardens. Circumstantial. We need more. I'm working on it. Costa opens his laptop. Dr. Philip Grayson, the hospital administrator. Current address, Miami. I have a warrant being processed. How long? 48 hours. Too long. Eleanor stands. I want answers now. Patrick hesitates. There's something else. I've been digging into Thomas's finances from 2002. He made several large cash withdrawals, May through June. Total, $850,000. $100,000 to Thornton. $250,000 to Grayson. Margaret calculates. That leaves $500,000 unaccounted for. Or already paid to someone else, Dr. Okafor suggests. The question hangs. Who? That afternoon, Amara returns to her Bronx apartment. She needs clothes, textbooks, her life before everything exploded. Security offered to accompany her. She refused. I needed space, normalcy, mistake. She climbs the stairs to her third-floor walk-up. The light is out. Again, the landlord never fixes anything. Her key turns in the lock. The door opens. The apartment is dark. She reaches for the light switch. A hand grabs her from behind, slams her against the wall. Man's voice. Low. Cold. You need to stop asking questions. Amara's nursing training kicks in. She identifies pressure points, weak spots. Her elbow drives back, connects with his ribs. He grunts. Grip loosens. She spins. Sees his face. Mid-40s. Scar across his left eyebrow. Dead eyes. He pulls a knife. They said to make it look like a robbery. Amara's heart hammers. She's 3 feet from her door. 10 feet from the stairs. He lunges. She drops, rolls. His knife hits the wall where she was. She runs. Down the stairs. He's behind her. Heavy footsteps. Getting closer. 2nd floor. 1st floor. Lobby. She bursts onto the street, screaming. People turn. The attacker stops at the door, sees witnesses. vanishes back inside. Amara collapses on the sidewalk, shaking. A woman calls 911 2 hours later. Police station. Detective Costa reviews security footage. The camera caught the attacker entering Amara's building. Facial recognition runs. Keith Mallory. Costa pulls up a file. Private security contractor, works for corporate intimidation firms, specialty, making problems disappear. Who hired him? Eleanor demands. She arrived within minutes of hearing about the attack. Whitmore Industries Security Division. Payment authorized 3 days ago. Patrick pulls up the approval code. His face goes pale. Carolyn's digital signature. Eleanor's rage is quiet, controlled, deadly. Arrest her. Now. We're working on it, Costa says. But Mallory disappeared. Without him, it's harder to prove. His phone rings. He answers, listens. His face changes. Keith Mallory was found dead in his apartment an hour ago. Single gunshot, apparent suicide. The room goes silent. That's not suicide. Patrick says what everyone's thinking. That's tying up loose ends. Amara sits in the corner, processing. Someone tried to kill her, then killed the killer to cover tracks. Eleanor sits beside her. Take her hand. You're staying at the estate. No arguments. Amara doesn't argue. Can't. That night, a phone call. Detective Costa's phone rings. Unknown number. Detective Costa? A man's voice. Old. Weak. My name is Father Michael Reyes. I'm a priest. Hospice care at Mount Sinai. I've been following the Whitmore case in the news. How can I help you, Father? It's what I can help you with. The priest coughs. I'm dying. Heart failure. Weeks left, maybe days. I need to speak with Mrs. Whitmore. It's about Thomas, her nephew. Costa sits up straight. What about Thomas? He came to confession. 2019. Days before he died. He was tormented. Couldn't find peace. Father, the seal of confession. Thomas asked me to break it if the truth ever came out. He gave me written permission. Signed, notarized. The priest's breathing labors. He told me what he did. All of it. But he wasn't the one who planned it. Costa's pulse quickens. Who planned it? Someone Victoria trusted. Someone she loved like a sister. The priest pauses. He gave me a name. Dr. Naomi Carter. The world stops. Victoria's best friend? Costa can barely speak. Thomas said she came to him in May 2002. Told him the baby would ruin both their lives. Told him they could make it disappear. She had connections at the hospital. She had a plan. Costa stands, pacing. Why would Naomi Carter want Victoria's baby gone? Money, debts, desperation. Father Reyes coughs again, harder. Thomas said Naomi was the one who arranged everything, paid everyone, threatened everyone. He just provided the money and looked the other way. Sometimes the touching stories we hear about friendship hide the darkest betrayals. Because the people closest to us know exactly how to destroy us. The name drops like a bomb. Dr. Naomi Carter. Victoria's best friend. Maid of honor at her wedding. The woman who held Eleanor's hand at the funeral. Detective Costa pulls up files. Within minutes, her life spreads across his screen. Naomi Carter, now 46. Psychiatrist. Private practice on Manhattan's Upper East Side. Successful. Wealthy. Respected. But 2002 tells a different story. Columbia University roommates. Victoria and Naomi. 1998 to 2002. Inseparable. Every photo shows them laughing, arms linked, sisters by choice, until money destroyed everything. Costa digs deeper. January 2001. Naomi married Marcus Carter, hedge fund manager, worth $45 million. March 2001. Marcus filed for divorce. Cause infidelity. His infidelity. New girlfriend, Patricia Lowe, 26. Former assistant. The divorce was brutal. Marcus's lawyers argued Naomi contributed nothing to his wealth. Prenuptial agreement gave her minimal settlement. $200,000. That's it. Naomi fought back. Victoria testified as a character witness, spoke about Naomi's support during Marcus's business ventures, her sacrifices. It didn't matter. The judge sided with Marcus. January 2002. Divorce finalized. Naomi got $200,000 and crushing legal debt. But here's where it gets interesting. April 2002. 2 months before Victoria died. Victoria co-signed a loan for Naomi, $2 million, using Whitmore Foundation funds as collateral. Eleanor never knew. She forged my signature. Eleanor's voice shakes with rage. That loan was never authorized, Margaret Shen confirms. If Victoria died and her heir was eliminated, the loan would be written off as estate loss. Naomi keeps the money. No one asks questions. Patrick pulls up more records. June 26, 2002. Marcus Carter died. Boating accident. Hamptons. Investigation ruled it accidental. He was drinking. Fell overboard. Drowned. 2 weeks after Victoria died. Dr. Okafor notes. Patricia Lowe contested the will. Marcus promised to change it. But without proof, and with Naomi as the previous beneficiary, courts awarded Naomi the full estate through a legal loophole. Costa does the math. $45 million from Marcus, $2 million from Victoria, all within 1 month. And all she needed was for Victoria and the baby to disappear. Amara's voice is hollow. The pieces fit. Perfect. Terrible. True. Detective Costa makes a call. Dr. Naomi Carter? This is Detective Raymond Costa, NYPD. I'd like to ask you some questions about Victoria Whitmore. Silence on the line. Then, I heard about Amara. It's wonderful. Eleanor must be overjoyed. Her voice is smooth, practiced, but there's something underneath. Fear. Would you be willing to come to the station? Clear up some timeline questions? Of course. Though I'm not sure how I can help. That was 23 years ago. You remember it well enough. Another pause. Victoria was my best friend. You don't forget losing someone like that. No. Costa's voice hardens. You don't. They arrange a meeting, tomorrow, 2 p.m. Naomi agrees too easily, like she's been expecting this, that night. Eleanor can't sleep. She sits in her study, looking at photos of Victoria and Naomi, birthday parties, graduations, holidays. In every photo, Naomi is smiling, perfect teeth, perfect hair, perfect mask. How did Eleanor miss it? The envy, the resentment, the rage hiding behind friendship. Patrick enters quietly. You couldn't have known. I should have. I'm supposed to protect my family. She fooled everyone, even Victoria. Eleanor touches a photo. Victoria laughed. Naomi beside her, arms around each other. She murdered my daughter, stole my grandchild, and I invited her to the funeral. Patrick has no response. Some betrayals are too deep for words. The next day, 2 p.m. police station. Dr. Naomi Carter arrives 15 minutes early. Designer suit, Hermes bag, lawyer in tow, Douglas Wainwright, expensive, ruthless. She sees Eleanor in the conference room. Her mask slips for half a second, then reconstructs. Eleanor? It's been too long. She moves to embrace her. Eleanor steps back. Don't. Naomi's smile falters. She sits. Wainwright beside her. Detective Costa, Patrick, Dr. Okafor, and Margaret Shen fill the room. Recording equipment running. Dr. Carter. Thank you for coming. Costa begins. We're investigating the events surrounding Victoria Whitmore's death. Specifically, the disappearance of her baby. I thought the baby died. Naomi's voice was careful. The baby is alive. Sitting right there. Costa gestures to Amara. Naomi looks. Really looks. Her face doesn't change, but her hands grip her bag tighter. How wonderful. You must be thrilled, Eleanor. Eleanor says nothing, just stares, dissecting. Costa continues. We have testimony placing you at Roosevelt Medical Center the night Victoria died. Of course I was there. Victoria was my best friend. We have financial records showing Victoria co-signed a $2 million loan for you, April 2002. Naomi doesn't blink. Victoria was generous. She helped me through a difficult divorce. We have phone records. Costa slides papers across the table. 17 calls between you and Dr. Philip Grayson in the week before Victoria died. Why were you calling the hospital administrator? I don't recall. That was 23 years ago. We have testimony from Dr. Gerald Thornton. He says a woman with a European accent gave instructions to falsify the stillbirth certificate. Naomi's lawyer leans in. My client doesn't have to respond to hearsay. We have a voicemail. Costa plays it. The audio is old, scratchy, but clear enough. A woman's voice. Tell Grayson it's done. Naomi's face remains neutral, but a vein pulses in her neck. That could be anyone. We have witness testimony. Costa presses. Linda Hartwell, surgical nurse. She saw Dr. Thornton hand a blanket-wrapped bundle to a woman in a red coat. Parking garage, level B, June 15, 2002. Thousands of women own red coats. We have testimony from Thomas Whitmore, given to Father Michael Reyes on his deathbed. Costa plays the recording. Father Reyes's voice, weak but clear. Thomas confessed everything. He said Naomi Carter came to him in May 2002, told him Victoria's baby would ruin both their lives. She had a plan, contacts at the hospital. All Thomas had to do was provide money and stay quiet. The room goes silent. Naomi's mask cracks, just slightly. Thomas was dying. Delirious. This is inadmissible. Actually, Margaret Shen says, Thomas signed a notarized statement giving Father Reyes permission to break the seal of confession if the truth emerged. It's admissible. Wainwright whispers urgently to Naomi. She shakes her head. Costa leans forward. Your ex-husband Marcus died 2 weeks after Victoria. Boating accident. We reopened that investigation. Found a witness. Boat mechanic, Carl Jennings. He was paid $50,000 to tamper with the safety equipment. He slides a photo across. Jennings, signing a sworn statement. He identified you as the woman who hired him. Naomi's breathing quickens. This is a setup. You're trying to frame me because you need someone to blame. We have bank records. Patrick speaks now. 3 cash withdrawals from your account, May 2002, totaling $150,000. The same week Thornton and Grayson were paid. Circumstantial. We have a motive. Eleanor finally speaks, voice like ice. You were drowning in debt. Victoria had everything you wanted, and her baby stood between you and $45 million. Naomi's eyes flash, rage pure, unfiltered. You have nothing, speculation and coincidence. We have enough to arrest you. Detective Costa stands. Dr. Naomi Carter, you're under arrest for conspiracy to commit kidnapping, fraud, and conspiracy to commit murder. Wainwright shoots to his feet. This is outrageous. You'll be hearing from... But something breaks in Naomi. 23 years of pretending, of hiding, of fear. It shatters. She stands, pushes Wainwright aside. You want the truth? Her voice rises. Fine. Yes. I did it. All of it. Wainwright grabs her arm. Naomi, stop talking. She shakes him off. Victoria had everything. Her composure explodes. Money. Family. Love. And she was going to waste it playing Mother Teresa. That baby would have inherited billions while I had nothing. Eleanor stands, hands shaking with rage. So, yes! Naomi's screaming now. I convinced Thomas to help me. Yes, I paid Grayson and Thornton. Yes, I told them to abandon the baby because I couldn't risk her growing up and asking questions. Amara can't breathe, can't process. And yes, I had Marcus killed. He owed me that money after what he did, after he humiliated me, after he threw me away for some 26-year-olds. Wainwright looks like he wants to disappear. You want to know the worst part? Naomi laughs, bitter, broken. I'm not sorry. Victoria was naive. Thomas was weak. They both deserved what happened. She looks at Amara, eyes cold. You survived. You're fine. You're about to inherit billions. So what's the problem? The room is silent, stunned. Eleanor steps forward, voice quiet, devastating. The problem, Naomi, is you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison knowing all your scheming achieved nothing but your own destruction. Security enters. Handcuffs Naomi. As they lead her away, she's still screaming. Victoria didn't deserve that fortune. She was going to waste it. I was smarter. I deserved it. The door closes. Silence crashes down. Amara realizes she's crying. Eleanor's arm wraps around her. These are the black stories that remind us evil doesn't always wear a mask. Sometimes it wears the face of a friend. 3 days later, Manhattan Criminal Courthouse. The media circus is deafening. Cameras flash. Protesters hold signs. Justice for Amara. How many others were stolen? Eleanor and Amara arrive surrounded by security. Inside, the courtroom is packed. Standing room only. Dr. Naomi Carter sits at the defense table. Orange jumpsuit, no makeup. The mask is completely gone. Douglas Wainwright beside her, looking like he aged 10 years. Carolyn Whitmore sits separately. Her own legal team. Accessory charges, conspiracy. Judge Ramona Torres enters. 64, 2 decades on the bench. Zero tolerance for games. All rise. Assistant District Attorney James Wu stands. Your Honor, the people will demonstrate that Dr. Naomi Carter orchestrated a conspiracy spanning 23 years. Kidnapping, fraud, murder. He lays out the case, the DNA evidence, financial records, testimony. Linda Hartwell takes the stand first. 71. Nervous, but determined. The baby didn't die. She was healthy. Crying. Perfect. Wu guides her. What happened next? Dr. Thornton took her. Told us to document stillbirth. Said it was a family request. What did you witness 3 days later? I saw Dr. Thornton in the parking garage. With a woman. Dark hair. Red coat. Expensive. He handed her something wrapped in a blanket. Wu shows a photo. Naomi Carter. 2002. Could this be the woman? The build matches. The height, the confidence. Wainwright cross-examines, tries to poke holes. Linda doesn't budge. Dr. Gerald Thornton testifies next. Immunity granted. Looks broken. I falsified the stillbirth certificate, paid $100,000, instructions through burner phones, cash drops. Have you ever heard a name? Once. Voicemail. A woman said, "Tell Grayson it's done." Describe the voice. Educated. Cold. Slight European accent. Wu plays the recording, then submits voice analysis. 92% match Dr. Carter's voice. The courtroom murmurs. Carl Jennings testifies. The boat mechanic. Guilty conscience. She paid me $50,000 to tamper with Marcus Carter's boat. Safety equipment. Make it look accidental. Who paid you? Dr. Naomi Carter. Met her at a marina. Told me exactly what to do. Wu shows surveillance footage. Jennings meeting Naomi. May 2002. It's her. No question. Father Michael Reyes appears via video link. Hospice. Oxygen tube. Weeks left. Thomas Whitmore confessed. June 2019. Days before he died. What did he confess? About the baby. How Naomi Carter convinced him it was necessary, that the baby would destroy their inheritances. Who orchestrated it? Naomi, all of it. She had hospital connections, arranged payments. Thomas just provided money. Wainwright objects. Wu submits Thomas's notarized permission. Judge Torres allows it. Amara takes the stand. The courtroom goes silent. Wu approaches gently. Miss Bennett, tell the court about your childhood. 7 foster homes before I aged out at 18. Some good, most weren't. Did you have family support? I had no one. No records, no history, just a necklace and questions. How did you survive? 2 jobs in high school, 3 in college, scholarships, loans. I worked every day to become a nurse. What did you think about your biological family? Amara's voice cracks. I thought they didn't want me. I thought I wasn't worth keeping. Eleanor's eyes fill with tears. Now you know the truth. Now I know I was wanted. But someone decided my life was worth less than money. She looks at Naomi. You stole 23 years from my grandmother, condemned me to poverty, killed people, for money. Naomi stares back. No remorse. Wainwright cross-examines. You stand to inherit billions? I don't care about money. I care about my grandmother, the life we lost, the mother I never knew. Amara leans forward. Money doesn't fix that. Whispers ripple through the courtroom. Naomi's final outburst. As Wu rests his case, Naomi snaps. She stands, pushes Wainwright away. You all act so righteous, but you'd do the same. Victoria was going to waste billions on charity, on strangers. Judge Torres bangs her gavel. Dr. Carter, sit down. No, I worked for everything. Victoria had it handed to her. She didn't deserve it. Sit down or I'll hold you in contempt. I'm already going to prison. Naomi laughs, bitter. My only mistake was not destroying that necklace. Security moves toward her. Victoria was weak. Thomas was weak, and that baby, she points at Amara, should have stayed lost. Security restrains her, drags her back. She's still screaming. Judge Torres's face is stone. I've heard enough. She reviews the evidence, the testimony, the confession. Dr. Naomi Carter, I find probable cause on all charges. How do you plead? Naomi cuts off her lawyer. Guilty. To everything. The courtroom explodes, sentencing. Judge Torres's voice cuts through chaos. Dr. Carter, you destroyed lives, murdered 2 people, stole a child's identity, corrupted professionals, threatened witnesses. She pauses. I sentence you to life in prison without parole. Sentences consecutive. Plus civil liability. Naomi doesn't react. Empty. Carolyn Whitmore, 30 years. Parole after 20. Dr. Philip Grayson, 15 years. Dr. Gerald Thornton, 10 years. License permanently revoked. As they're led away, Eleanor reaches for Amara's hand. Justice is served. Outside the courthouse. Reporters swarm. Eleanor makes a brief statement. My granddaughter was stolen 23 years ago by people I trusted. Today, justice affirmed that cruelty will not go unpunished. We ask for privacy as we heal. Amara speaks quietly. To every foster child wondering if you matter. You do. Your story matters. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The crowd erupts in support. They walk to the car, hand in hand. Grandmother and granddaughter. The past can't be changed, but the future is theirs to write. In touching stories like these, justice doesn't erase pain, but it proves that truth always finds its way home. 6 months later, Amara walks through the Whitmore estate gardens. Morning sun filters through oak trees, birds singing, peace she never knew existed. She lives in the guest house now, a compromise. Eleanor wanted her in the main house. Amara needed space, independence. They're learning. Slowly. Eleanor wants to give everything. Clothes, cars, vacations. Make up for 23 lost years in 6 months. Amara wants to earn her own way. Finish what she started. Prove she's more than a lost heiress. They clash. Often. But they're trying. Last week, Amara's nursing school graduation. Eleanor sat in the audience, front row. Tears streamed as Amara crossed the stage. Degree earned through her own work, her own sacrifice. Not family connections, not money, her own hands. Afterward, Eleanor hugged her, whispered, Victoria would be so proud. Amara held on tight. I wish I'd known her. You have her strength, her heart, her stubborn determination. Eleanor smiled through tears. You know her through yourself. They visit Victoria's grave together now, once a month, always on the 12th. The day Victoria died. Eleanor places white roses. Amara places her hand on the headstone. I'm here, Mom, she whispers every time. I'm okay. We're okay. Eleanor doesn't cry anymore, not at the grave. She talks instead. Tells Victoria about Amara's achievements, her plans, her life. Like Victoria is still listening. Maybe she is. The Victoria Whitmore Foundation launches. $200 million. Eleanor's announcement was made 6 months ago. Now real. Operational. Focus, foster children, education scholarships, mental health services, family reunification resources. Amara serves on the board. Uses her experience, her pain, to help others help. At the first meeting, she presents data, statistics, plans. Every year, 20,000 kids age out of foster care. No family, no support. We're going to change that. The board approves every proposal. Tessa Rodriguez is the first scholarship recipient. Full ride to Columbia's nursing graduate program. She hugs Amara after the announcement. You did this. We did this, Amara corrects. We're not letting anyone else feel forgotten. System changes ripple outward. The Amara Bennett Act passed the New York State Legislature. Requires DNA banking for all abandoned infants. Comprehensive database cross-referencing. Family connection protocols. Roosevelt Medical Center restructures completely. New protocols. Multiple verifications for any infant death certificate. Independent review required. Detective Costa heads a new task force. Investigating hospital fraud. Adoption corruption. They've identified 12 suspicious cases already. Dr. Okafor publishes a book. Stolen Childhoods. How Medical Corruption Destroys Families. Required reading in medical ethics programs nationwide. Change is happening because of Amara's story. The civil lawsuit settles. $45 million from Naomi's estate, Roosevelt Medical Center, co-conspirators. Amara's portion, $30 million. She donates every penny. Foster care reform, medical oversight programs, legal aid for family reunification. I don't need guilt money, she tells reporters. I need to make sure this never happens again. Eleanor watches the press conference. Pride overwhelmed her. 1 year after the gala. Amara works her first shift, registered nurse, Roosevelt Medical Center, NICU. Eleanor argued against it. Too many painful memories. Too much trauma. Amara insisted. This is where Mom died. Where I was stolen. But it's also where sick babies get saved every day. I want to be part of healing. She tends to a premature infant, monitoring vitals, adjusting IVs, speaking softly to terrified parents. During lunch, Eleanor visits, brings homemade sandwiches, only slightly burnt. They eat in the cafeteria, surrounded by chaos, beeping machines, rushing staff. It feels normal, not perfect, not without pain, but real. Amara touches her necklace, now accompanied by a compass rose bracelet Eleanor gave her, inscribed with both their names. You know what's funny? Amara says. What? I spent my whole life feeling lost, like I didn't belong anywhere. She looks at Eleanor. Now I realize I was never lost, just stolen, and you never stopped looking. Eleanor's eyes fill. I didn't know I was looking. But my heart knew something was missing. They sit in silence, comfortable, complete. Closing voiceover. Amara Bennett was abandoned as an infant, labeled unwanted, told by society she didn't matter. For 23 years, she fought to survive in a world that discarded her. But a single necklace, a mother's final gift, became the thread that unraveled a conspiracy, restored a family, exposed corruption. The villains are behind bars, the system is changing, justice prevailed. But the real victory? Eleanor finally hears someone call her grandma. Amara understood she was never unwanted. She was stolen. These real-life stories teach us, can broken families heal? Can justice defeat power? Can one person's courage change everything? Amara's story answers yes. But only if we refuse to accept injustice. Only if we fight for truth even when it's buried. Only if we remember every abandoned child has a story worth uncovering. The necklace was a symbol, but Amara is a miracle. Not because she was rescued, but because she never stopped searching for the truth. Have you ever wondered what secrets your family holds? What injustices hide behind closed doors? In a world that tells us to move on, to forget, Amara reminds us, truth is worth fighting for, and love always finds its way home. If this story touched your heart, share it. Comment below about your own journey. Subscribe to hear more touching stories about real people overcoming impossible odds, because every story matters, including yours.